Hello, in this section of the tutorial we're going to learn how to use the calculator to calculate certain statistical properties of our list. So usually when you have a list of data like we've been entering, you want to calculate the mean value of that data, or maybe you want to calculate the standard deviation, or lots of other things that you might want to calculate. Just at a glance, statistics about what your data is. Maybe you have grades. You enter your grades into your calculator and you want to average the values or look at what the standard deviation is of the grades in your class or something like that. So the first step, as always, is to enter the data. We'll go into the Edit menu. And this is left over from the previous little tutorial. So I'm going to leave it in here. We have a list 1 and a list 2, and they're just numbers. This is representing the temperatures that we were measuring. This is just silly numbers that we put in to represent the days of the month. So you can enter anything you want, and that's just going to be fine. So let's go ahead and leave that there. And you would spend some time entering that. And then the next thing you want to do is go back into the Stat menu and go over to the Calc menu. And the first two lines are interesting, 1 variable statistics and 2 variable stats. So let's go ahead and hit 1 variable stats, and this is going to basically calculate a whole potpourri of cool little things that usually would take longer in a lesser calculator. Will be done in an instant. So 1 variable stats is put on the stack here, and we need to tell it what list we want to operate on. So if you remember, list number 1 was kind of boring list of numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And list number 2 is our temperature. So let's go ahead and put in L2 for our temperatures and then hit enter. And then when we do that, we're going to see the calculator has done the hard work and calculated a ton of things that we are going to be interested in. And we'll just go down the list briefly. Well, the first thing is the mean value. This is basically what would happen if you had taken all of your values and added them all up and then divided by the number of values you had. It's just the average value. The next line is the sum of the x values. So if you would just add them all up, and you can see that these two look close, because if I were to take this number and divide by 10, because I had 10 days, I get the average value. But this is just adding up all the values. This is the sum of the squares. So if I took every one of those temperatures and squared it, and then added them all up, I would get this number here. The reason the calculator gives you these is because when you're doing certain